Lillian, this is Dennis Clark. I have a brief review of your golf lesson here. My system was out for a few days, so I just got it back up and running, I hope. So when you get this, just drop me a line and say that you got it. The thing for you that I'm trying to do is to keep you in your posture a little bit. This move here where you stay in your posture, in your stance to right about there would be fine with me. If that was the length of your backswing, if that's as far as you went, you set your wrist. The length of your backswing, of the arm and club swing doesn't matter as long as that second part doesn't take you up there. In other words, if you have to lift that far to go that high with your backswing, I probably would eliminate the length or reduce the length of it a bit, right? Because that's hard to get back, and your swing's too long anyway. So it's not going to hurt us to shorten your swing. I would think about maybe 1/3 of your swing behind you and 2/3 of it in front of you, meaning longer on the front side of the swing than the backswing. And I think this idea of keeping your snapping of your wrist is going to add a lot of speed for you, right? Because your swing is under speed, and we need to add the second. The other thing I did was I lined you up a little differently. You should work on this. You should put a club down. Put a club down on the ground when you're practicing. Point it at whatever target, or actually in here is probably better. And point it at whatever target you're aiming, and then line your club up perpendicular to that, and then your body parallel to that. Because I find that when most people do it the way you're doing it, by the time they move around, it's not generally square. Like that club face is looking too far left right now. So it's not. I don't think that this method is as reliable as picking something in front. I got my camera moving here, but picking something in front of you and then lining up to it. There we go. Again, there's this. Am I doing this handheld? Let me see. No, that's good. Okay, get a still one here. So you need to. The only way I learned golf was to put clubs down here, stand parallel to it, put the club perpendicular to it. The other way is you pick a spot. Let's say this is your line here. And I don't think the camera is on completely the right angle, but you pick a spot out here, a foot or two in front of the ball, anything, discolored grass, a weed, a divot, anything, because your eyes can see that far, right? We can see 2-3 feet, but we can't, and we can't see the target. And that 2 or 3 feet right there is the same as that target right there, because the line is nothing more than an indefinite series of points. So for you to pick something out and line up to it, I think it'd be more reliable. And you do have a tendency to aim to the right. So we got to watch that. Back to your swing. I would only go back as far as my body allowed me to while staying in my posture. Like that's pretty good right there. You haven't lost it a lot, and that's probably plenty of backswing as long as the rest is done with your wrist. I wouldn't swing my arms any further than that. I don't think it's necessary. You're not going to get any more out of it, and probably you're going to lose some by going up there, because now you realize that the body has to kind of come back down and getting the hitting area. Sometimes you will, sometimes you won't. And it's hard to say where you're going to be, right? So maintain the posture, work on the alignment, and keep working the wrist. The wrists are really, really important for you. Is to hinge them when you go back, snap them into the ball, and let them hinge on the other side. You know, your speed can increase if we use the principle of leverage. But see, here you're not recocking your wrist. It's just like a long chip shot. So I think you've got another, 15 yards in there if you learn to snap the wrist. And I would keep doing those exercises that we've talked about. Squeeze the ball, do the little reverse wrist exercise with some light weights. And you can even take the club out in your yard and just snap your wrist, Maybe I gave you the drill with your feet together here, where you just cock your wrist on the backswing and snap them into the ball. That'll all be good stuff for you, Lillian, because I think you're going to get a lot more consistent and a lot more distance out of it. Okay? All right. I hope that helps you review. Sorry for the delay, and Merry Christmas.